Welcome back. We continue to honor the legacy of our own Sam Rubin, who died suddenly yesterday morning. Joining us now, a really special group, members of the original KTLA Morning News.
Anchor Carlos Amezcua, plus our own Mark Kriske. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. Eric Spillman. I didn't know even this was happening. Wendy Birch, the OG, and we have our Dana Devin right there as well. We also have Ginger Chan, who's calling in. So we have this full team. For you guys to be here today, this feels surreal. I know for all of us, Casey, we love you. For all of us, we feel a certain way, but just take it away. Carlos, we'll start with you. Take us back to 1991. You guys started the show together. He came 2 months after, you and Barbara started the show. What do you remember most?
Well, thank you again for inviting me to be here. This is one of the saddest occasions I think I've ever been a part of, and I watched the coverage yesterday, and I watched LA embrace Sam and all of us, and it's overwhelming to see the love, the outpouring of love and emotion that has come from everyone around. I was stunned by the developments. Sam has been a part of my life for most of my adult life. We were really kids when we started in 1991. It was a momentous occasion for all of us because we didn't know what we were about to embark in, and suddenly we were on TV with these measly 13-week contracts, and
I love that picture.
and praying that we were going to be something. You look that TV book picture. That was our first first broadcast, and they said, hey, we're going to be something, and then that's like 25 years later there, and then.
But it was a failure, really.
For
a
long time. Well, the first 2 months,
nobody was watching at all.
We were afraid of two things: failing, and Hal Fishman.
And maybe not in that order.
And not in that order. Hal Fishman was
really scary.
He was a stickler for news, and he wanted us to be a serious newscast.
He did not welcome a morning.
He was not a welcoming human being for us at that point.
Right.
He later, of course, he
would blame us for if his ratings went down, which his show was on at 10 o'clock. We finished at that point at 9 o'clock. So that's like, what, 15, 16 hours later? He'd say, my lead-in was horrible. Wait a minute, we were on 16 hours ago.
What other newscast has a 16-hour lead-in problem?
Oh, go ahead.
So I was just going to say, because you asked me about Sam, and so after the 2 months of doing straight news, and every one of us was like very methodical. Mark was still learning the states of the United States because he's from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and so we're doing the news, and then our executive producer says, I'm bringing this kid in. He's really good. Be nice to him. I'm like, well, of course we're going to be nice to him. Why wouldn't we be nice to him? And so Sam sat down on the desk, and the minute he sat down, it went, boom! He just like, it was like an explosion on the set. The energy, the insight that he had about LA and the things he was talking about. He was so excited, and it was like his adrenaline was pumping. He was really excited about all this. And Barbara and I looked at each other and went, wow, this kid's got it. And so after the broadcast, we went up to the EP and I said, hire that guy. I don't know what he's doing. He was doing People Magazine or something.
Yeah. He did he was a tabloid news reporter.
Tabloid stuff, yeah. And I always say...
He worked for the Inquirer.
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't he?
He can make up stuff just as well as the rest of them.
That was the vintage KTLA, the time I think so many people started joining.
Be careful with that vintage thing.
But the reason I actually ever came to KTLA was because I would fill in for Sam when he was suspended. And he was suspended so often. And he loved it because he got paid. He knew he wasn't getting fired. Like, he was a legend. Can y'all talk about the shenanigans that used to happen in the day?
I don't know if we can.
Well, whatever you can talk about.
Yeah. I mean, the shenanigans, I don't think he got suspended for this one, but Sam...
For this one.
But just some stories. Sam always reached for the top, and he didn't care. And Sam always ended up in hotel rooms with a short robe. And,
Always.
Always. And you know what? I've been in a lot of hotel rooms.
They don't have
have
short
robes.
robes.
I think you
So
got it, so,
I think
yeah.
Sam would call down to the front desk and go, I need a short robe. And they go, sir, we haven't had those since 1970, but if you want one, we'll get you one. But one of the great stories was Sam was standing on a balcony in a hotel at some
dear
kind of
Lord.
a event.
Dear
And he's
Lord.
wearing the short robe. Mothers were telling their children, don't look up. And Sam, though, spots the president of ABC News in the jacuzzi.
Oh, no.
And what does Sam do? Puts on his bathing suit right down there. And he, hey, guys, whoa, takes off the short robe. What's happening? Ooh, that water's hot. And he schmoozed the guy from ABC. Didn't get anywhere. The guy probably thought, who is this? But that's typical Sam.
You know, it's interesting to me that we all have. You can't say the word Sam without smiling.
Yeah.
And I hear the soft music that we came in with out of commercial, and really the somber realization that he's gone. I think Eric put it perfectly yesterday. The shock of his passing was so profound, and now we're dealing with having to figure out that we're not going to see Sam ever again. And I think that's something really difficult to wrap your head around, especially as much as he meant to all of us here at KTLA. He leaves an indelible mark, a void that's going to be tough to fill.
You know, yesterday was so surreal, sitting here throughout the day as a part of the coverage, trying to do what Sam would have done if any of us had passed, and that was eulogize the person that we knew and loved. And there were moments where, in our coverage, maybe you felt this way, where I just thought we were having like Sam Day on KTLA, because we were running clips
Yes.
and
Oh,
we
he
were
would have
doing
loved that.
stuff.
He would have loved it.
And then I would see, and I think we have these images up here, the picture of him with the birth date and then the death date.
Yeah.
And then it kept hitting me why we were doing and why we are doing what we're doing. And I think it's those moments that just catch me. And then I went home last night and saw the Santa Monica Pier Ferris wheel.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Whoever
thank you
did
to
that.
Santa Monica for that.
And then, come on, SoFi Stadium.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I just can't help thinking how much he would have loved it.
He would have loved it. You know, I don't know.
When you think of how many freebie seats he got inside, outside. Unbelievable.
The line of the day right there.
You guys have spent so much time with Sam. I remember, you know, Sam and I are passing ships a lot because I
Yeah.
was in for him, so I didn't get to spend a ton of time with Sam. We went and did a live shot together one time, and I've never been with a person that famous, and he would love to hear that. But I'm not kidding. In the entire 2 hours we were there was not one car that didn't say Sam Rubin, and they know his name. Like, it's not, hey, KTLA 5, it's Sam Rubin. Like, people, no one didn't know Sam. Like, everyone knows Sam. Like, I've never experienced being with someone that was that well known. I mean, and we've all been on red carpets. We've all been with celebrities. Like, he was beyond what I've ever, I mean, and I want to say to the people that are watching, you guys showed your love to him, and he knew he was loved, and I really thank the people at home for that.
And
Wonderful.
Eric, yesterday you and Frank up here really being with the viewers, I think was a very special moment. And for you, you have something in your hand now. Do you want to read something?
I've received a lot of emails from viewers, and here's one. You know, Sam grew up here in Los Angeles, and this is a person who went to school with him. Sam was 2 years behind me in junior high. He would tell his friends he wanted to be an entertainment reporter early on, like 9th grade. Friends asked, "What's that?" He'd say, "Kind of like Rona Barrett." So he set goals and achieved them. He taught us how to eat a cupcake. R.I.P. Sammy.
Yeah.
Back
Well
then, he
said.
was eating a cupcake like that.
He loved the cupcake.
Wow.
We had one assistant general manager. He was from the Midwest, tough guy. I forget his name, but kind of a cowboy tough guy. And he walks down the hall.
You had so many.
We ran, yeah. But he walks down the hall, looks at Sam right in the middle of the hallway, and he goes, "I don't get what you do, but they seem to like it. So keep it up." But here's my take on all of this. I thought, like at this point right now, after 33 years and at our age, I always thought maybe time doesn't matter, 10, 15, 20 years from now, but I thought we'd be starting to do, at some point, retirement parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
he
never
was-
Never
imagined.
thought you'd have to do this.
Never thought I'd have to do this. I thought, one time we're going to do a retirement party for whoever, and not this.
Because we're still kids.
Yeah,
You know,
we
and
are.
that's the thing is that in our heads we think we're still kids, and we're still those kids that started in 1991, and so of course, this drives us home in the most powerful and sad way to us that, time does pass. But the thing that's very consistent, and it's been consistent since we caught on, and that is that the audience loves us. They're loyal to KTLA. This is the last time I saw Sam. We were at a funeral for one of our colleagues, and this is the last time all 4 of us were together. Eric was there. He got there a little late, so he didn't get the picture. But at my birthday party, and then this was our 30th anniversary party. We get together a lot, and that I think people understand at home who watch us that we are a family. A family unlike any other in America, because I've traveled all over the country, watched newscasts and teams, and they try to do what we did or do and can't.
They can't.
There was a special chemistry between us, a special kind of love, and if you were to put all 4 of us together again on the air, we'd go back like that, because that's just the way we were. And I'm so sad that he's gone, and I'm so sad for his family and his children. He's a loving family man. I'm sorry for what the void that he leaves is so huge, and yet I have a smile on my face every time I think about Sam.
Yeah.
There's no way you can talk about Sam without
Yeah.
giggling about all the nonsense he was involved in all the time.
Yeah.
If you did get suspended at this station, he was your first call. Because you know how to handle the situation. Yeah, you just basically like, you're good.
You're okay, yeah.
Yeah, and Mark,
Part of your legacy.
you bring up retirement. I don't know if Sam was ever going to retire.
No, that's, yeah.
Matter of fact, I know that.
Yeah.
Sam was actually at a dinner recently, and one of the people from another station came up and said, "Hey, we should have dinner together because we need to talk about our next chapter." So Sam came in the next morning. He was genuinely hurt. He was like, "What next chapter?" Like he didn't ever see.
Yeah.
He was like, "What next chapter?" And he was so insulted, actually, that someone would insinuate. So in this weird way, I'm so happy that he was doing what he was doing up until the moment, like he wasn't doing it anymore. Like he loved it. He couldn't not do it. You guys, I was in the other morning for him. He was texting at 4 a.m. sending story ideas. He gave us ideas for shtick. And actually the shtick was so good. It actually worked. And
Wait a minute, speaking of that shtick, someone who he did drag into a lot of shticks, and I think did actually get you suspended one time.
Ginger
It's
Chan
true,
the
it's on
line.
record.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, I think
Well, I think hi, good morning to you guys. First of all, I have to say we have so many people reaching out to us, people saying, I didn't know Sam, and they are really, sending their condolences and their love to our KTLA family. But you know what? The viewers did know Sam because he wasn't a different person, from being with his family or on the air. He was the same person. So the people they saw, you knew him. He was exactly that way. But in terms of, yes, I was suspended because of Sam. I don't laugh about it now. But when I look at my paycheck back then, I wasn't as happy about that. And that was kind of before your time, Megan and Lauren and Casey. And I think Wendy and I will really remember that, and Mark as well. But that's a story for another time.
Okay, I was going to say, please spill.
The less glorious moment for me, and maybe Megan, when she and I were texting each other, said she didn't know this story, and basically an open mic.
oh, this is
Always a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
They were, I think, doing a story about Sam, and he said something to the effect of, when did I become the fat guy? And then my mic happened to be open.
Wait, we have it. We have it.
We have the clip. Let's roll the tape.
Please.
Yeah.
Give me grace.
I'm in the car, my wife calls, and she's like, why do they always make you the dork? That's what she said. And I can't.
Wait till you see what's next, and you tell me.
Well, you know what? This is not just
My wife calls. It's like, since when did you become the fat guy on that show? it's the same exact
always
thing.
been.
You've always been. Oh, is that Ginger?
She didn't know.
Wow.
Ginger!
Suspension.
I swear, I think that has like 10 million hits.
It has something. In fact, I think it actually that year was like Yahoo's best viral moment. But let me just say this. Definitely not my best moment.
No, I
Definitely
might
not.
disagree.
But, and I cringe when I think about it. My son actually said to me, "Mom, when I Google you calling Sam Rubin fat is the first thing." I said, "Thank you." But in Sam's defense, I always waited for the other shoe to drop, where he would come to me and challenge me about it, call me out, say something that I probably deserved. He never did, and it really spoke to the kind of person he was. He was always a good sport. He let it happen, and after that, it was like nothing ever happened. We talked about his son making Eagle Scouts and my son being in Boy Scouts, about his commute, and can he use me as an excuse for being tardy to work? And a terrible moment for me, but probably a bonding moment for he and I, and I will be grateful for it now.
And you guys had fantastic banter when he would come in. Most recently, you would talk about TV shows. You love TV shows, and you'd be right there with him as the entertainment guru, and you guys would have those conversations. He brought ease to you in the morning, would you say?
We would talk about all these shows and movies, and really, Eric may be able to agree with this. Sam's taste was very different, I will say, from some of ours, but it was always fun to be able to talk about that, and really that was one of Sam's many gifts. He could talk about everything with anybody about anything, whether it was about entertainment or, Omar's poodle. So that's certainly a gift.
Good point.
That hopefully some of us will be able to take with us.
Well, Ginger, I know it's been hard up until this moment for you to be able to talk about your friend, our friend, everyone's friend.
Too much ugly crying to be on
Yeah, no, but we hear it in your voice and in your heart. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We'll continue that conversation. Eric, in some ways, you and Sam may seem like very different people. What did you and Sam bring to the KTLA experience, you think?
I mean, we were really good friends off camera. I mean, I went to his kid's naming. He went to my wedding 27 years ago. I went to one of his weddings. We went to, it started off, he used to have this Melrose Place gathering where everyone would come and watch Melrose Place at his house. Countless. He thought that was an event.
He made it an event.
He made it an event. He thought it was a big deal. He ended up having some of the stars of Melrose Place come. He was just, it's hard to put into words. I mean, he's not just a work colleague. He's a very good friend.
Yeah.
I just don't know how we're going to manage without
And
him
that's what I was
here.
going to ask you, Eric, is that you guys know him the best. Like, how do we move on, but not forget him?
Yeah.
I don't know. Monday's going to be the toughest.
Yeah. Monday's going to be a weird day.
Yeah.
Were you guys at that Jackson Brown party I heard
Yes,
about? Where
through a Christmas party, Sam Rubin in his backyard, and Jackson Brown is the musical guest. And it's like, okay, where else, who else, why not? Jackson Brown. And he had valet people and the whole thing going.
And
He put a wooden board over the pool. That became the stage.
Yeah.
Wow.
And too, we all know this. Sam always had a guy. If you needed something in Los Angeles, from bagels to a BMW,
You got a guy.
I got a guy. I got a guy. And he would be very quick to connect. I mean, sometimes I think one of his greatest gifts that we haven't really spoken about is that he was a connector. He would connect people, and people here at the station, or you with other people in the community, or the community with us. He was constantly sharing numbers, and he didn't hold those, sacred. He just put them out to the world, and always a promoter of whatever you were doing, your passion project.
True.
He was such a great cheerleader for us.
I think it's clear that all of us are better for having known Sam, and that he elevated our game.
Yeah.
And that he pushed us to be the very, very best. And I'll never forget, we came in the morning, and he did his first tease, and he sits on the set and just lights everything up, and we're all laughing, and all of a sudden we hear in our ear, there's a fire in Calabasas or someplace. and we got Eric's on his way, Michelle's on his way, and Sam looks at us, he goes, well, I guess we're going to cancel the entertainment report. He gets in a truck and drives to the fire. And I'll never forget the very first time I ever saw him.
He was not close to the fire.
That's not He goes, if you zoom
in the vicinity of the fire.
But he did cover the fire, and he did a credible job.
But in typical Sam Rubin fashion, he looked heroic.
The wind
standing
blowing
there
in
with
his
the wind
He
blowing
put on
and the fire
a
behind
fire
him.
turnout coat, a yellow coat.
we called
he had
wardrobe.
He had it all. It was amazing, but that's the kind of guy he was. He wasn't so pampered that he wouldn't go out and do the dirty work, the hard work of being
I
a
honestly
reporter.
believe he could have covered news, sports,
Oh, anything.
He did
whatever.
everything.
He
He
could
did
have
it all.
done
By the way,
a fashion show.
Speaking of pampered, it was so much fun to tease him about, his taste in fine hotels and all that. Were all of you, when I heard that Sam was going to go climb Mount Everest, I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought it was just some sort of he was going to a spa and he just told everyone.
The top of the W, maybe.
Exactly. Like his version. I could not believe it when he did that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so glad he did. You know what? I'm so glad he
Well,
did.
he cared a lot about the mancation. He
Yeah.
had very close friends from growing up here.
Yeah.
He had a lot of friends all over the place, but he maintained his friendships, and they did that every year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
West Side legend.
I have to just mention that I had a very heartfelt and sad conversation with Barbara Beck, who was our original co-anchor yesterday, and God bless her, she's such a lovely lady, and we loved working with her, and she was in shock and disbelief, but like all the rest of us, she had a smile on her face when I was talking to her on the phone, because she said, he just made our jobs so much fun, and we just loved him so much, and she says, it's sad that more people aren't going to get a chance to feel that love and that joy that he had for life continuing on, moving forward, and then she said, I love you, Chuck, and that's what they called me, and she said, I love Sam, and please, if you talk to the folks at KTLA, let them know how much I love and appreciate them, and how sad I am that we've lost Sam. So Barbara, and I spoke to Mark a little bit later on, and then Mark and I, we were sad for 10 minutes and then started joking about Sam and all the crazy things we used to do to him, because he would do stuff to us.
Oh, all the
and
time.
we had to get him back.
Yeah, had to
there
get
was
him
no
back,
way there's not payback, right?
And when he did his skits, there's times where he'd want to include anyone of us.
yeah.
And he would go, just sit here,
Yeah.
and it'd be okay. He would go, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. I got it. We'd be in the middle of something. We'd be go, oh no, well, how did I get
Wait a
into
minute.
this?
Speaking of pranks, I just remembered. Back in the old newsroom, Jessica walked away from her computer one time. Do you remember this?
Oh, this was
Walks
his
away
favorite,
from
yeah.
her computer
This is his favorite.
and doesn't log out.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
then Sam seizes the opportunity and sits down. And who did he said? it
Oh,
was
he would do
Todd
this
or
until,
something?
yeah, I love you. And
Yeah, from Jessica. Sent from her email. Jessica Holmes. Yeah, to
Yeah.
Jessica Holmes.
I've always
And I
had a
think
crush
one
on you.
One of our writers, I think it was Todd. I've loved you for a really long time. I'm sharing my feelings. I hope this is,
that
if you're
was
interested.
his classic.
Always had to log out.
You couldn't log out.
And he didn't get suspended for that.
Yeah, and he would start that in the newsroom.
More stories to come,
Many
right?
good stories.
And
yeah.
just, and he relished in whatever awkward interaction would then happen the subsequent day. That was a good one.
And he would come in with the biggest smile on his face.
Like
We
the
go, "What have you-
Cheshire, the Cheshire cat.
What have you
cat
done
grin.
now? And he goes, well.
You guys, we love these stories. We could listen all day, and we are going to continue after a quick break. But for now, we're going to go to break, and we will continue to remember the impact of our Sam Rubin after his untimely passing. So stay with us for our continuing coverage.